Good morning. I have been up early this morning, and I mentioned in my last video post, the Lego one, that there'd been some things I've been doing in the garden. The main thing was, and I've completed it, is a log store, but that will progress. There's some pictures that I'll put up of that. Next to the log store is what we currently use for storing our recycling. That will become a tool shed, and there's a gap now between the log store and that tool shed, which I'm going to put a roof over and felt and make it half behind doors to store the recycling bins, and then below the shelf will be open, and there's a dustbin that we use for collecting plastic recyclables, which we take to the local recycling centre on a semi-regular basis. So moving back to the log store, the pictures that follow are some photographs of how that looks now, and it'll continue to look like that, other than the gap adjacent to it being moved over and used for recycling storage. So what's next, you may ask? Well, I've come up with some drawings this morning. My wife will be very pleased to know that I'm progressing the greenhouse staging, and the next step will be to order all the required materials. So here's a drawing of the design that I've come up with. Basically it's a 60 centimetre wide worktop, which will be made of untreated slats, and then also a little bit above that is a smaller shelf, which is going to be 20 centimetres wide and run the width of the staging, just for seed trays and propagation. So here we have the this is the elevation from above, and you can see there's the upper shelf and the staging, and this is what it will look like from the side. It'll just have a bar, an extension of the leg here, and then a diagonal to support the weight, and here we have it from the front, but I will include towards the end of the video a still of that. And then the other one, which I'm even more excited about, is a people who know me will know that I was quite a keen brewer, and since we've been in this house, which is 12 years, we actually bought this house because of its scope and potential for creating a brewery in the garage. But the plan at the moment is to build a brewery shed to house all that equipment, which will free up the garage to be more of a workshop, and also with potential to create a gravity-fed brewery in there. So I'll include extraction fans and all sorts of things, but initially it will just be storing things, and they will happen to be at the right height so that they can be plumbed together to create a gravity-fed brewery. So that will, again, I will include a shot of that plan at the end of the video, so you can take and also a link to a public Dropbox account, so you can have a look at that as a JPEG. that's as it stands. And so again, for this one, I'll be creating a materials list and taking it to a more commercial supplier rather than using a DIY store. And it's all quite exciting. So there's my next project. It's great to be outdoors, and it'll all work towards making the garage a better space to work in. As far as using the logs for this log store goes, we have our older barbecue is a fire pit, so it has the ability to be used as a small open fire. We've replaced it with a nicer brewery, a nicer barbecue, which we can. It's got a closing lid and a temperature gauge, so that's the one we do all our barbecuing on. And the fire pit one is at coffee table height, and it's great to sit around. I've really re-tiled the edge. I'll include a picture of that